Hello everyone, welcome to MzansiOz Diary. My name is Connie. If you're new here, very much welcome. So yes, as I predicted, I said to you last time that this Ramaphosa, Ramgate, the cupcake of a president is so weak that he's going to extend this Spaza shop registration. And the Spaza shop, as I predicted, it's been extended. Let's listen.
Been there. The deadline for Spaza shop owners to register their businesses has now been extended to the 28th of February. Velenkosini Hlabisa, who of course is the Cooperative Governance Minister, conceding that they've learned many lessons along the way, and part of the reason for that extension is in response to that. He's also mentioned that 42,000 applications have been received so far. Of those, just over 19,300 have been approved. What's also important to mention, of course, is that what we're seeing now is just applications for registration.
So as you have heard from the SABC reporter, that this Spaza shop registration has been extended until next year, 28th of February 2025, as I predicted, with this president, aka cupcake of a president, weak president really. My opinion is that you shouldn't actually allow people to trade if they aren't registered. That's why these deaths have occurred as a result of these people who are trading and putting South African children at risk, trading products that are unsafe for consumption and not even understanding the basic hygiene of how to look after food product. And they shouldn't actually allow anyone to trade. Those who are unregistered shouldn't continue to trade until they've had a certificate of occupancy that they meet all the requirement to run these informal trading business shop that are meant to actually cater for a small community. I'm going to play a video of Mzansi in Parliament talking about the issue at heart here, the common problems theme in South Africa that's leading to all this high number of deaths related to food poisoning and also other criminality that I spoke to you about, which was relating to illegal miners. The common theme in all of this is illegal migration. That is the common theme. It's a common denominator, as we say in mathematics. It's just, that's the only thing you look around. It's all the people that are engaging in this are illegal migrants. And then many of them have come to South Africa under the so-called pretense of being actually refugees and asylum. And I sort of alluded last time, most are not really genuine refugee, genuine asylum. So I'm going to play a clip of a centric right party in South Africa talking about this issue in Parliament.
Honourable members, so we do know and we have to accept that we have an immigration problem. Illegal immigrants are finding it easy to come to South Africa. And as Rise Mzansi want to state on the record that for those that come through the gate, we have no problem. But those that decide not to use the gate, to jump the fence, they are not our friends. If there's one issue that must unite us, it's how we are able to then deal with illegal immigration in our country. And there's also a tendency in our society that when South Africans raise the issue of illegal immigration, you have people who jump up and down and call South Africans xenophobic. That practice has to stop. South Africans want a government that first and foremost works for the benefit of South Africa. South Africans want immigration laws that, in the first instance, protect South Africans. We are also aware, and Minister, you will know, that one of the loopholes that has been exploited is the use of asylum and refugees by economic migrants. A lot of the people that are now running the Spaza shops came to South Africa under the guise of being asylum seekers. They are not asylum seekers, they are economic migrants, and they should use the gate with proper documents. And those Home Affairs officials that are selling IDs, they are actually selling our country, and they must be charged with the highest possible charge available.
As you've heard from this video clip of the Rise Mzansi talking about this issue that yes, the Spaza shop it's been dominated by people who hold asylum and refugee. My opinion is that if indeed this ANC government, the GNU, wants to actually clean their house and wants to actually have a deterrent policy, they should start with this Spaza shop and do not allow asylum and refugee to run them and trade, because that is going to reduce the markets for them to come to South Africa, because we know a lot of them aren't refugee and asylum, because how can you have an asylum and refugee from Pakistan and Bangladesh? Doesn't make sense. Okay, so they need to be create a deterrent policy. Is that one? Because they can't continue to sort other people's unemployment while South Africans' unemployment is rising. And statistic from last week, the unemployments continue to rise. So the GNU, even though they've been telling, oh, things are changing, yada yada, no, things aren't changing. Things are getting worse. And with this ANC in power, nothing is going to improve, because you can see even with this registration of Spaza shop, it's a simple thing, you know. You don't have to be brainy, smart enough to figure this one out. Don't allow someone to trade if they haven't met the requirements. The registration is to make sure people who are trading understand they have all the necessary documents to be able to offer a very important services to the community that needs and deserve to be provided safe food and safe goods that aren't going to kill them, including their children. So this registration of Spaza shop came out of the tragedy of these children that are dying after consuming or buying items from this Spaza shop. And we found that these people have actually been not even understanding how they should actually put food and separate chemicals and food. And also that we're actually importing things like aldecarb, which has been banned in South Africa for about 15 years now, actually over 10 years now. It's been banned in South Africa, and they've been having those stuff and actually decanting things like aldecarb into a small little packets and putting aldecarb close to food that are going to sell to kids. Most kids have been dying in South Africa as a result of that. So you can tell from that point that these people don't even understand. The majority of them are illegal. Majority of them are illegal migrants. Majority of them are foreign nationals who are legals. Those who are legal in South Africa are the refugees, asylum and refugee holders. So as you've heard from the Rise Mzansi essay talking about these issues, that actually many of them are economic migrants. Many of them are actually people who pretend to be asylum and refugees and be given these papers. And so if they actually, ANC or GNU is really serious about sorting this problem of illegal migration, they should actually think about having a deterrent policy. And one of them is to start with this Spaza shop and do not allow anyone with holder of asylum to actually, I'm actually very concerned about asylum, because refugee, I mean, if you're a refugee, you're a refugee. But asylum people haven't been vetted. They usually haven't gone through a lot of checks and balances to check if they really are genuine people. They haven't run away from where they met at someone somewhere else and came to South Africa to try and hide from authorities. Because some of them, there's been shown that some of them have been doing that, and notably is one of these Rwandan genocide person who has been wanted in Rwanda for genocide, that stayed in Cape Town and hide from authority under false name, for years not been found, evading authority in Rwanda for the crimes that they've committed in Rwanda. So you don't want things like that to happen in your country. Yeah, especially now when we know that the unemployment is rising in South Africa. Even last week, statistics came out to say that it's about 100,000 jobs lost in South Africa. So that unemployment is rising. So when the unemployment is rising, obviously, if you're really you have a good government, a government that's really working for the people, it is actually restrict influx of these low-skilled migrants or refugee asylum, because then you cannot be able to offer them anything of value, because you must look after your citizens first. But I don't see this would happening under this current ANC government, and I don't think this will happen under the DA either. So it's either parties like Action SA, Rise Mzansi, ATM, Africa Transformation Movement, that are likely to be able to at least have a policy that actually makes sense for South Africa, that works for South Africans. I do not believe that these lefty party in South Africa are going to do anything of a value in actually changing things around. Because of the ANC's been there in power for about 30 years since the end of apartheid now, so they've had about 30 years, and so far they said, the numbers don't actually lie. They show us a very alarming trend of poor governance and just looting and just really creating this huge inequality. I mean, the gap of inequality is getting huge, especially amongst Black in South Africa. They've created a certain class of inequality of Black middle class and other lower class Black community. So they've created their own version of apartheid, the ANC. Like I said, so they were meant to end apartheid, but they've created apartheid 2.0. Things aren't really looking good. The statistics, the number don't lie. So you look at the stats, you compare, and it just tells you a very alarming trend. So I will, in the next video, I will show you a video of those statistics and the statisticians that talk about it. And this is the same thing that I've been actually working on, looking at it. But there's already a video of him, and he's a statistician in South Africa, has been looking at this. So I will put that in there so you guys have a look and see what is the issue here. So there's no turning back. So for the parties that are leading right now is actually Action SA. Action SA seems to be really doing well in governance where they're governing in Tshwane. Look at, in such a short period of time, Tshwane has been turned into better than what it was, the collapse. And the collapse, the person who was running Tshwane was the DA. So DA is also not good at governance as well. Look at Cape Town. Cape Town is so beautiful, the city, wonderful, but if you drive about 10 kilometers from Cape Town, you see how horrible DA is in governance. So it is no wonder why they're still at 20%, why everybody else is heartful of ANC. Heartful, as we say in South Africa. Have a lovely day. Bye for now.